Yes. Happy morning, children. Hope you all are doing good. Okay. So, in the last session or the last class, we have seen about the introduction to this chapter, which is not there in your textbook, but it is very much important to understand this entire chapter. So, hope you people understood how Great Britain has been formed and with the collaboration of other countries, and then how British people came to India, what was their main idea or main motto? That is trade. Only through trade, I know they were thinking that only through trade only they can establish the territory. Okay, so and about the Royal Navy, Sky Shuttle, all those things, and even we have seen about the other things about India also. Okay, when they came to India around the 1600, everything. So by the name itself, it is denoting what it's saying. The saying, children, trade to territory. What do you mean by trade to territory? So we know that the many times we used to tell you people, British came to India, the main idea of trade. Okay, so they came to India with the idea of trade and making profit only. But later, how they established, as a territory. See, the company establishes the power. So the East India Company started to rule the country, and our rulers, our kings, everyone started to become a slaves to them. How this has been happened. Okay, that and all we'll be seeing in detail in this chapter. Okay, yes, children. So coming to this, I have explained you people in the last session about, yes, Marathas, and even about the Mughal emperors. Yes or no, children? Guys, do you remember about that? Mughals and the Marathas. Yes or no? So, coming to the Mughal rulers, the Mughal empire has started in the year of 1526. Guys, make a note, 1526. Okay, by Babul. By Babul, and then it came to an end in the year of 1857. By 1707 only it became very, the weak, but 1857 finally the entire Mughal empire has came to an end. Okay, make a note of about that, children. It's not there in your textbook. It started in the year of 1856 by Babul, and it came to an end in the year of 1857. Okay. Yes, Aurangzeb was the last of the powerful Mughal rulers. So here Aurangzeb, this is a person. Aurangzeb was the last of the powerful Mughal rulers. So there were many powerful rulers in the Mughal emperor, but Aurangzeb one of the last among them. So finally, see, he established control over a large part of the territory is known as India. So as I told you people, this was one of the, the largest territory at that time, one of the huge territory. But yes, children, so we understood finally that it's one of the largest territory, and that was called as a India. And in 1707, after the death of Aurangzeb, many Mughal governors and big zamindars began asserting their authority and establishing regional kingdoms. So, here what happens, guys, we know that. Just imagine when there is no proper ruler in that particular country, what happens, children? The small rulers, whoever is available, and they will start taking the power, and they will start making their own rules and the regulations. Same here also, once the Aurangzeb was dead, the same thing here also in the empire. What happens in the regional kingdoms, many local rulers or the zamindars, they started to take some authority, and they started to establish the regional kingdoms in that small areas. They started to establish the power in that particular areas. For example, the whole India was controlled, that time the whole India was controlled by the Aurangzeb, but later once he died, in the small areas, other regions, they started, the many rulers, other zamindars, they started to take the control in their particular local areas or the locality. Okay. Yes. So that is the reason. So finally, when we come to know there is no proper ruler, all the small zamindars and the governors, they started to take the control over the kingdoms and they started to establish the power. So that time what happens? There will be no one single center for that. The same thing here also. Delhi could no longer function as an effective center. So finally, Delhi, the Delhi was acting like the center for the Mughal Empire. But later, finally, Delhi could no longer function as an effective center. Okay, and later, see, by the second half of the 18th century, a new power was emerging on the political horizon. That is the British. So finally, we came to know that, in the second half of the 18th century, already the Aurabgzeb was no more, and the many small rulers, they started to take the control over the small kingdoms. So that time what happens, children? The new, when there is no proper, the governance or the ruler, of course the other people will tend to take the chance of the power. Understand? So already I explained you in the last session of the video what happens in the, the fight between Mughals and the Marathas. That time what happened? The British people started to take more and more profit, and slowly they started to enter into the political the politics of the India. So, that situation, what happened in the the half of the 18th century, the new power started to emerge in the political horizon, that we call it as a British people. So the British people also slowly they started to enter or take part even in the, yes, that is in the political activities of our country. Okay. Yes. See, Bahadur Shah Zafar and his sons being arrested by Captain Hadson. So finally, what happens, children? Just check in your textbook. There is a picture in that, and they are explaining that is also one of the Bahadur Shah Zafar is one of the Mughal emperor, Mughal ruler. So when there is no powerful ruler in the Mughal emperor, whomever is there, they have to take charge or the chance to to rule the country or to take part as a leader. So same thing here also. Bahadur Shah was not that much strong like Aurangzeb, but there was no choice for them to escape. So he was just ruling, taking part as a ruler. But why is, the Bahadur Shah Zafar and his sons being arrested by the Captain Hadson? Hadson is one of the English sea explorer. Guys, it's not there in your textbook. Make a note. He's one of the, yes, English sea explorer. Okay, in the 17th century. Okay, so he, they arrested by the Captain Hadson. See, what is the main reason they got arrested? See, after Aurangzeb, there was no powerful Mughal ruler. As I explained you people, after Aurangzeb, no ruler was there, the powerful ruler, but Mughal emperors continued to be symbolically important, because when there was no other rulers, of course they have to pretend or they have to take part that symbolically they were important. Okay, but see, in fact, when a massive rebellion against British rule broke out in 1857, so in the year of 1857, this, the massive rebellion against the British rule broke out. Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Mughal emperor at the time, was seen as the the natural leader. So when there was no other leaders, of course the Bahadur Shah has to take an the step to take forward towards the British, because that time the people started to take some rebellion activities against the British rule. The people were not happy with the British rule, so the local people started to take part against the British rule in the year of 1857. Of course, there was no choice for the Bahadur Shah, and he took an initiative as a natural leader to fight against the British. Okay. Yes, children. So finally, once he took an initiative to fight against the British people, of course, see, once the revolt was put down by the company. So finally, what happened? The British people won that, the whatever the rebellion activities or the war was happening, or the battle was happening, the British won that. That is the reason finally Bahadur Shah Zafar was forced to leave the kingdom. So finally they have to leave the kingdom, and his sons were shot in cold blood. So they were planned in the earlier only, and they killed the Bahadur Shah Zafar's sons also. Okay, so finally, this the Mughal emperor came to an end. Okay, hope you guys understood, right? So we have seen that Aurabgzeb was one of the last powerful ruler of Mughal emperor, and after that, so he established his kingdom very well, that is the empire territory. But after that, what happens? In the year of 1707, Aurangzeb was died. So at that time, what happened? The rulers who was available in that country, that is the small, the governors of his empire, and even the small, the small zamindars, they started to take an initiative and authority in the small kingdoms. So at the same time, we could have seen the one more power started to come to the political entry, that was the British rule. Okay, so that time, there was no powerful leader among the Mughal emperor, but Bahadur Shah, he has to take an initiative because there was no choice for him. But finally, in the year of 1857, when the revolutionary activities, the revolt started against, the rebellion activity started against the British, of course he has to take an initiative to fight against the British people. Finally the British won that, and they forced the Bahadur Shah to leave the country, leave the kingdom, and they were the shot his sons cold blooded. They killed the Bahadur Shah's sons also. Okay. Yes, children. So this is the route to come to India, the sea routes to come to India. So earlier and all, we didn't have a airways or the other ways. So only the sea route, the sea ways we could have see. So that is one of the sea ways we can see here. Okay. Yes, children. So and later, so after that, East India Company comes to East. So this East India Company started to enter to our country. So in the last session only I have explained you people. When British people came to India, children, around 1600. Okay, see here. In 1600, East India Company acquired a charter from the ruler of England, that is Queen Elizabeth I, granting the sole right to trade with the East. So here they are telling they have got the permission to go for a trade in the East, that is in the year of 1600, from the ruler, that is the ruler of England, that is Queen Elizabeth I. But she has granted the sole right to trade with the East. What do you mean by sole right, children? Yes, that is the single power, the only power they can do, only power. Only these people, East India Company, have the rights to trade in the East, or the trade with the East. No other English companies should trade with East. That was the meaning of that. Okay, sole right. She has given the single power or single right to the East India Company to trade with East. Okay, hope you guys understood, right? In the year of 1600, the East India Company acquired a charter, that is a permission from the ruler of England, that is Queen Elizabeth I, and she has granted the sole right, that is the single power or the single the authority to the East India Company to trade with East. No other the English or the European companies should compete with it. Okay,